Welcome back, everyone, to the DDSN Golf Betting Show. We're here for episode number 5, and we're going to be at the Genesis Invitational, San Diego, California, at the beautiful Riviera Country Club. Last weekend, we came up just short, dropping 2.86 units. Basically broke even on our tournament wagers and our matchups. And then, of course, our -3 comes from our 3 outrights. So we're going to have to, as great of a start as we did have at Pebble Beach with Akshay Bhatia 75 to 1, Rio Hetsatsune 175 to 1. Yeah, they had the lead first round, second round, third round, fourth round, but they couldn't hold on to it, and that's the only thing that matters. That's basically how our tournament went. Mainly our Sunday, everything went to hell on Sunday. Everyone lost the lead, everyone blew their positions. So we end up with dropping 3 units and losing our second tournament of the season. We're 2-2 on the year. In the positives, we're still plus 58.17 units on the season. So last weekend is behind us. We're going to forget about the Akshay blown lead. We're going to forget about the Rio blown lead. But we can't be too hard on Rio. He shot a career best round 1. Round 2 was still solid, and then of course he tapered off. It's going to be tough to hold that lead against the world's best in a signature event like that. So we can't be too hard on him. We just got to move forward. We can be hard on Akshay. Akshay kind of choked. Akshay choked. Let Colin Morikawa come back, and yeah, that was unfortunate. But from this moment forward, we're going to move forward. That's what we're going to do. We're going to move forward, and we're on to the Genesis Invitational, the second signature event of the season, but there will be a cut. There's a field of 72 golfers. Top 50 will make the cut. So just FYI regarding any wagers and DraftKings daily fantasy implications. So let's get into Riviera and the Genesis Invitational. We've got our 3 outrights as usual. Research has Ludwig Åberg. Hasn't been hot this season, Åberg that is, but can he make a bounce back this weekend? I'm not so sure, but at 45 to 1, we're going to give it a chance. Research has got Åberg 45 to 1. You can find that offshore bet online. Us, who's kind of has the hot hand right now, just got to get it outright. And he's got Maverick McNeely 50 to 1. I like this play. Maverick has played great. He's always a solid and strong West Coast golfer. I believe this is the last West Coast trip of the beginning of the season. So hopefully Maverick can get it done for us. Only problem is he runs hot and cold for us. We bet on Maverick. He doesn't do so well. We have no Maverick shares. He does incredible. So we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully he can get the outright. And for myself, I have Sam Burns. I like the way Burns played last weekend at Pebble Beach. I thought he looked strong. He had a great round. I believe it was a 9 under first round. Really strong. I think he's going to have that confidence after finishing, I believe, 8th in a finishing top 10. So I like Sam Burns here, and it's 40 to 1 at Bet Online. Pretty decent price in only a 72 man field. So I'll go ahead and take it. Sam Burns to get the outright for us. Now, like I said before, we're up 58.17 units on the season, plus 64 on our outrights, minus 13.15 on our tournament wagers. Haven't been too great. We've been breaking even, losing some, especially on Sundays. Sundays have been killing us, but our matchups have been strong. We're up 7.32 units on our matchups. So hopefully we can get some tournament wagers. I do have a couple bonus bets that I'm going to throw in there to try and help us, but let's try to get some of these home this weekend. Let's start off with what Research has. Research has Colin Morikawa going to ride the hot hand here. Top 10 finish. Remember, all these will be at DraftKings because these numbers include ties. Colin Morikawa, top 10 plus 210. I like it. I kind of like him to go back to back, but I wasn't that confident. I'd rather go with Sam Burns. Also, Corey Connors, top 20 plus 240. Corey Connors been a little quiet this season. I wouldn't mind him breaking out this weekend. Perfect timing. All right. Haas has Max Homa top 10. That's going to be plus 430. Love that. Homa loves playing here. He's won here before. I like that. And the price. Also, Haas has Jacob Bridgman top 10 at plus 485. Bridgman has been hot. He did well last weekend in Pebble Beach, so hopefully he can carry that over here. Awesome number. I like it. Haas also has Nico Echeverria top 20 plus 350. Again, that includes ties. Nico actually had a pretty good ending to the weekend at Pebble Beach. So again, if he can carry that over, that'll be great for us and for him. All right, now for my three, I've got Sepp Straka top 10. That's plus 310. He played amazing last weekend. Almost had him, or I almost picked him to be my outright this weekend, but I'm going to stick with Straka at top 10 plus 310. Also, Sam Burns top 10 plus 250. Wish I was getting a better number there, but I think he can win this tournament. I'm going to give it, I'm going to do the plus. I'm going to do it. The top five didn't work out for me last weekend with Justin Rose, so that's why I didn't go with the top five. If you're confident in Sam Burns like I am, roll with the top five. Also, I'm going back to the well here. I may regret this, but same thing with Maverick McNeely. Tom Hoagie's hot and cold with me. I bet on Tom Hoagie. Awful. Don't touch Tom Hoagie. Top 20. I don't get it. But I'm going back to the well here. Tom Hoagie, top 20, plus 350. I like it. Plays well here. Played well last weekend. Let's carry it over. Let's carry it over and cash some of these tournament wagers. We're due, and we need to knock down that minus 13 a little bit. And I do have two bonus bets here for our tournament wagers. I have a full tournament matchup. Sam Burns over Cameron Young, minus 106. Again, that can be found at DK, and a three-man parlay to make the cut. And this will net plus 110. Nothing too crazy, just three golfers. Maybe some crazy choices, but nothing, it's not, this isn't a 10-legger, 5-legger, just a 3-legger. Get the plus money and see if we can get them home to make the cut in a small field. And that's going to be Tony Finau minus, believe he's minus 330, Tom Hoagie minus 235, and Patrick Cantlay minus 750. Parlay all three of those. That comes out to plus 110. I like that. We'll put that in, and hopefully we can get that a cash. But of course, Hoagie and Finau, nothing's easy. Nothing will ever be easy with those two. So that's it for our tournament wagers. Let's jump into our first round matchups and our first six with Haas and Research. These will be on Bet Online, so check them out there. So Research has Maverick McNeely over Ben Griffin minus 105, Shane Lowry over Adam Scott minus 110, Ludwig Oberg over Ricky Fowler minus 105. Haas has Nico Echeverria over McCarty plus 108. Max Homa over Ryan Gerard plus 125. Chris Goddard over Patrick Cantlay plus 105. Those are first round matchups. My three can be found at DK, maybe even Bet Online, but I didn't double check. I've got Tom Hoagie over Bud Cauley minus 112. Sam Burns over Ben Griffin minus 114. Patrick Rogers over Adam Scott plus 105. I like that. Let's keep the matchups hot. Let's keep those rolling. And let's get into our DFS daily fantasy DraftKings kind of lineups. If you haven't been here before, first time, we break them down our lineups and player tiers into four sections: our big dogs, our second tier players, our mid tier, and then our bottom players, value players. This is how this is how we build our lineups. And of course, I do not include Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, the top players here, just because you obviously could use them, build a lineup however you want to. It's even including some of the players that we have listed here, just for not, avoiding trying to be boring. We're not including Scotty myself. I always include Scotty in a lineup. That way, I call it my rage lineup. So that way, when he does go crazy, I still at least have one lineup to root for. So let's get into it. So starting with our big dog tier, I do like Tommy Fleetwood here. Played really strong last weekend, and at 10,300 is that's a great big dog player to have in your lineup. Also Matsuyama 9,500, Morikawa 9,400, Patrick Cantlay 9,300, and I also have Russell Henley in here. I kind of skipped him. I didn't mean to, but I kind of forgot about him. So we're going to throw Russell Henley in there at 9,600. I accidentally skipped him. But there's also Xander Schauffele. But again, Schauffele is really high, has a high salary. So can you trust him? I think his best finish was last weekend, 18th. So top 20 finish, but his salary is more so for a player that's going to get top 5 or win a tournament. I don't really trust him that much to play that type of salary. So I kind of skipped Schauffele here. but he's kind of a good player to think about as well. And for our second tier, I'm going with my guy this weekend, Sam Burns. Also, there's Fitzpatrick at 8,400. Maverick McNeely, like we talked about, 8,100. I think that's a good price on him. And then Seb Straka, 7,800. Couple good prices for those second tier players. And for the mid tier, we have Shane Lowry, who played good last weekend and has also played well here at the Genesis. Same thing with Jason Day, 7,700. Nick Taylor, another sneaky pick, great at 7,400. Throw in some lineups, especially if you use a Rory or a Scotty. That's kind of like the perfect pairing, as well as Max Homa at 7,100. If I'm using a Xander, Scotty, or Rory lineup, yeah, I would definitely like to have Homa, Taylor, some sort of combination like that. That's something that I would go for. And for our bottom tier and value tier, I've got Wyndham Clark, 7,000. Pretty solid number. He's played well here. Has he played well this season? Again, hot and cold, up and down. I expected a lot more from him last weekend. Didn't really get it. So again, buyer beware. But I do love this one, Patrick Rogers at 6,900. I threw him into some lineups last weekend, and he did great. Tapered off there at the end on Sunday, but again, Patrick Rogers, California golfer. I expect him to play well here once again. 6,900, that's perfect, especially if you have an expensive, multiple big dogs, that sort of thing. Patrick Rogers, perfect player to throw in there. And of course, for Haas, I threw his guy in here. Jacob Bridgman, 6,800. He's been consistent all season. Might as well keep playing him, especially at this price, 6,800. Just too cheap to pass up. And yes, I'm guilty of it. Once again, Tom Hoagie at 6,300, especially if you're going to go with an expensive top-heavy lineup. Tom Hoagie's perfect to throw in there. And of course, there's always Tony Finau, another extremely cheap option with high upside, especially at this golf course. And if you're going to use a salary top-heavy lineup. But that's everything for us. We have a great weekend ahead of us at a beautiful golf course, Riviera Country Club. We're trying to break our 500. We're 2-2 on the year on our tournaments, but we're up, 58.17 units. That's beautiful. We love that. We love staying in the green. So hopefully we can keep it going, especially with our matchups. And we need to kind of cash in and get in the green with our tournament wagers. All right. Thanks everyone for watching, following along, subscribing, trolling. We appreciate it. And first tee's going to be at 9:22 Central Time. So more than likely for the matchups, we will probably post those the night before. If the tee times are going to be at 9, we're probably going to post them at the night before, because pretty soon we'll be on the East Coast with early tee time. So I'm just going to get into the habit of posting the night before for the round matchups, round by round matchups. So again, thanks everyone for watching. Put any questions you have in the comments. Good luck to us. We'll see y'all later.